center fielder Evan Childers. Batting 6th, shortstop Cash White. Batting 7th in left field, Cooper Mayo. Batting 8th in second base, Matt Hood. Batting 9th in right field, Carson McDonald. And playing first base for the Highlanders, Jamie Legg. And the rest of Huntington High School and the coaching staff. And now for your George Washington Patriots, leading off, shortstop John Falla. In right field, Corbin Dixon. Designated hitter Eli Smith batting 3rd. Batting 4th, Chuck Kelly at first base. Pitching and batting 5th, Luke Gordon. At second base, batting 6th, Joel Nelson. Batting 7th, catching Ryan Anderson. Batting 8th in center field, Cole Ellis. Batting 9th in left field, Hunter Stewart. And playing third base for the Patriots, Wyatt Barnett. And the rest of the George Washington Patriots and the coaching staff. If everyone would please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Okay, gotcha. Good evening, this is Michael Sussman joining you from George Washington High School for tonight's Quad A clash between the Patriots and the visitors, the Huntington Highlanders. It's been a nice day, maybe a tad overcast at this point, but no wind, a comfortable night for some baseball as George Washington looks to keep it rolling. Quick recap from yesterday, 8-2, they took it over Ripley in a game where the bats were rolling, especially for Corbin Dixon, who was 3 for 4 with a home run to left field and 3 RBIs. Slade Barton lights out on the mound again. He struck out 9, got the strikeout total to 28 in the early season, and picked up his second win of the year to go to 2-0. You turn the page, in comes Huntington, 3-6 on the year, but coming off of a 5-4 victory over the number 2 team in the state, Hurricane, who will come here tomorrow night. Good home crowd for GW, got most of the stands filled up to the right, and a solid road following from Highlander Nation. We wrapped up the JV, and it's time for the varsity. GW in the home white pinstripes, and there you see the starting arm, Luke Gordon, the southpaw, coming in with 6 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 5 walks, a 1-1 record, and yet to give up an earned run. For Huntington, it'll be Jackson Hatfield getting the ball. He enters with a 2.386 earned run average in 14 2/3 thrown. We broadcast on HDMedia Game Day tonight as it's a back-to-back-to-back. Happy to be here in the confines of Floyd Wilcox Field as we're about ready to roll. Starters for GW in the field, John Falla at shortstop, Corbin Dixon gets the night off from catching. He's in right field. Chuck Kelly's at first base. Luke Gordon, as we mentioned on the hill. Joel Nelson at second. Ryan Anderson fills in behind the dish. Cole Ellis is in center field. Hunter Stewart in left, and at third base, not hitting, Wyatt Barnett. We'll give you Huntington in the bottom half as they'll lead off 1, 2, 3 in the order. Jackson Hatfield, Xavier Goodwin, and Bradley Johnson. Such a good all-around team win yesterday. I believe only had 1 error and double-digit hits. As Hatfield going to dig in here, slashing 387. And first offering by him. As Gordon to start off with the fastball. In the motion. And second strike. So sharp out of the gate here. As Anderson going to flash the sign. And the pitch. Goes off speed, slows it down to 71. As the sequence starts, fastball, changeup. A couple of shakeoffs. As Hatfield going to step out. 12 hits, 6 RBIs for Jackson. Backed it up with a fastball there just under the zone. Nobody on, nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the delivery. This is roped right over top of the dugout. Put a start into a couple of guys. Got lacrosse going on the field behind us. We had to stop for the national anthem in their game just before we got going. 2-2. Right down the middle, throws them. And Luke Gordon with solid command there, filled it up through 4 strikes over the course of the AB. Strikeout number 11 of the year there for the lefty. And that'll bring up Xavier Goodwin. First delivery. Called for a strike as he continues to spot up. As Anderson will set up. And the 0-1. Out of the zone. Goodwin, the Huntington catcher, 231 on the year, couple of ribbies. 1-1 pitch is flown to shallow center field and will drop for a base hit. Just in front of Cole Ellis as Goodwin gets the first base knock of the contest. Coach Davis looking a tad irritated that one dropped.
Next up for the Highlanders, third baseman Bradley Johnson.
But a long run there for Ellis. Really wasn't that high up in the air, just kind of a dying quail. As Johnson will dive back safely. The Masters starts tomorrow. I'd say that was just a smooth pitching wedge. So Johnson up, 3-hole hitter, 1 down, runner on first. Gordon testing out the lefty move. Got to be on your P's and Q's if you're the base runner. They have that 45-degree angle. The lefty can get away with a lot more. Comes to the plate this time. Ground ball, Fowler, shortstop, sidearm throw to second as they get the lead runner, nearly decapitate the first base coach. So 2 down, that'll bring up the designated hitter, Jacob Hale. And the pitch is low and in. Hale 6 hits, 5 driven in. And the pitch. Just past Anderson, nobody traveling. Hale slashing 188. And Gordon from the belt, 2-0. Called for a strike, back pick towards first. Gordon on the mound tonight, had a good offensive showing yesterday with a couple of hits, a double, and the big homer against Woodrow earlier in the year. He'll toss over to first. Came over from Nitro, versatile player, played a little in center field also, right field. 2-1 pitch, slide step. And we'll get the strike call as it crosses at the top of the zone. Childers on deck, 2-2 to Hale. And the offering. Curveball called for a strike 3, and the side is retired. 1 hit, Huntington strands 1, and no runs. As we're back at the bottom of the first, today's game brought to you by the GW Boosters. And we're back at Floyd Wilcox Field. No score in the bottom half of the first as GW will get to the bat racks. John Falla, the shortstop, to lead things off against number 3, Jackson Hatfield. From the windup, Hatfield will step and unload. Chopping ground ball taken by the third baseman. Throw to first in time as Bradley Johnson all over it, 1 down. Well done there by Johnson. You got to get those on the big hop or it'll eat you up. As Corbin Dixon, the right fielder, will stand in. And Hatfield strides, unloads, right down the middle, called for a strike. Defensively for Huntington, Hatfield on the mound, Xavier Goodwin behind the dish, Bradley Johnson at third, Evan Childers in center field, Cash White at shortstop as the 0-1 pitch is down. Cooper Mayo in left, Matt Hood at second base, Carson McDowell in right, and not hitting at first is Jamie Legg. 1 down, 1-1 pitch. And Dixon will take up and in. As we mentioned at the outset, he homered yesterday. Just flicked a curveball. It was just really more of a deep fly ball than your traditional home run swing, but with his strength got out of here. And he'll crank a line drive. It's caught by the second baseman, Matt Hood. Nice reflexes there by Matt. Moving to his right and making the play.
Next up for the Patriots, designated hitter Eli Smith.
DH High Point commit Eli Smith will dig in here. Nobody on, 2 down. As Hatfield underneath the zone. Smith 4 hits and 18 at-bats. And the 1-0. Here's a ball. Smith up, Chuck Kelly due up next. 2-0 hitters count. Into the action. And the delivery hit hard towards the left center field gap as it's over the fence. Eli Smith shocked himself. I don't think he thought it was over. And it's a solo bomb to put the Patriots on the board. And talk about exit velo, that jumped off the bat. Smith's got his first bomb of the season. And gives Luke Gordon and the Patriots the early lead to work with. First baseman here, Chuck Kelly. As Hatfield will go up 0-1. Definitely had the speed off the bat, the power. I wasn't sure if it was going to be high enough. And it's called for a second strike. That was a flat bat, straight up backspin, exactly what you want. As Hatfield up 0-2 in the count, and it's down low. Chuck Kelly 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. 7 hits on the year, batting .269. 1-2 delivery, and the strike 3. There's Jackson Hatfield, strikes out the side. Or check that. A 1 strikeout, 1 home run given up. GW with the lead, and we're back in the top of the second. Today's game brought to you by the GW Boosters. And we are back on HD Media Game Day, top of the second. Luke Gordon to face Evan Childers. First pitch is swung on and missed, starting off the at-bat there with a sinker. Childers hitting .250. Into the motion, 0-1. Second strike. Gordon really changes his looks both from the windup and from the stretch. As you look, really, none of the two motions are exactly the same. Keeps the hitter off balance. There had that little slight hesitation after the first step. As he'll head back into the motion, the offering is downstairs. Two count, nobody on, nobody out. As Gordon will get a foul ball. 5, 6, 7 here for the Highlanders. Evan Childers, Cash White, Cooper Mayo. And the delivery is into the turf. And it was a big regional win over Hurricane on the 5th for Huntington, as that's going to be a tough one down the road. Cabell, Midland, Capital, the Highlanders, the Redskins, Parkersburg South, Spring Valley, as the payoff is up high for a ball 4.
Next up for Huntington, shortstop Cash White.
Some of that will change next year, of course, with Spring Valley going down to AAA. We talked to their AD, Tim George, pretty often. He's the classificationologist, although it'll be easier to figure out now that it's just straight up enrollment. As Cash White will dig in here. A quick throw over. Cash White, the Highlander shortstop, batting .226. Long pause, the lacrosse horn goes off. It's a bunt attempt. Side spins into foul territory. As Coach Dennison going to some small ball. For all the coverage on the WVSSAC stuff, you want to read the Gazette newspaper. Taylor Kennedy had a good article today about how it was about a number of things, but specifically Charleston Catholic, they still want to compete in AA in certain things, which you got to respect, especially if you've been winning championships. Don't want anything given to you as the 0-1's up and out. So way in here, Wyatt Barnett. As GW with the obvious bunt coverage there, keeping first back, bringing third in if you're Gordon got to cover the line. So we get it down. It is Gordon flying off the mound, turning and throwing in time. One down for GW. Well done by Cash White. Sacrifice executed.
Next up for Highlanders, left fielder Cooper Mayo.
It scores a run that'll bring up Cooper Mayo. Mayo batting .143, 1 hit, 1 driven in. Second time we've seen the Highlanders on the trail this year. Was one of our first games over at South Charleston, one that the Black Eagles would take. Slide step delivery, ball 1. One hit apiece. GW with the early lead. If you're just joining us, it was a solo shot off the bat of Eli Smith in the bottom of the first. And gets the strike call. As Mayo, one of the taller players on Huntington.
Okay.
And the 1-1. It's down and in. If you want to get a couple highlights from this game, tune into Channel 13 later for the news. I got representation here. Been here the last couple nights. Always good to see high school baseball get the love. It doesn't always happen in comparison to the other sports, so that is refreshing as Gordon slowed down speeds, got a strike 2 call.
Yes, sir.
Check 'em go 1 if you're G-Dub. 1 away. And the even 2-2. Got a swing and a miss as Mayo over top of the changeup.
Next up for Huntington, second baseman Matt Hood.
With the exception of the walk to Childers, Gordon really spotting up well. Third strikeout. And up now the second baseman, Matt Hood. From the belt, Gordon gonna step off, tries to get on the same page with Ryan Anderson. Gone for a strike. Hood pitched a little towards the end of the JV game, which you're completely allowed to do. I think in basketball it's 2 quarters. In baseball maybe there's an innings number. 0-1 pitch is up. Hood batting .214. One fouled backward, high heat. Huntington actually played GW in softball recently, back on the 5th. 13-0 victory for the Patriots. Ball and 2 strikes. Got him with the curveball, snapped it off. And Luke Gordon with strikeout number 4. 1-0 GW. We're back in the bottom of the second after this on HDMedia GameDay. And we are back in the bottom of the second. Luke Gordon, first pitch swing, will dribble it foul. Out there, Jackson Hatfield struck one out to end the first. Gordon here batting .250, 7 hits in 28 at-bats. As Hatfield going to wind and unload, and it's low. It'll go Luke Gordon, Joel Nelson, Ryan Anderson here, 5, 6, 7. And the 1-1 is hit hard, deep center field towards the fence. It'll roll to it. Gordon round second and headed for third as it hops to the cutoff man and slides in safely. Leadoff triple. Luke Gordon locked in with the swing. Staying through the baseball there, launching it to the deepest part of the ballpark. And that was a shot, stayed about 12 to 15 feet high, the whole flight pattern. His third hit in the last 5 ABs. That'll bring up Joel Nelson, who watches down low. So this is where the coaches usually say, do a job. Just got to hit something out there. And ground ball up the middle, a fly ball. As Nelson gets a hopper to shortstop, that'll do. Gordon scores, and GW up 2-0. So ground out RBI there for Joel. His 6th run batted into the year. There's Ryan Anderson catching behind the dish today. As Hatfield will stride and go. First pitch swing over towards the bushes. And the 0-1. Up 0-2 there. Hatfield went to the slider. Had a no-hitter regionally last night. Spring Valley won 4-0 over St. Albans. Garrett Wagoner tossing the no-no. As he'll hang alive here, Anderson dribbles it back. St. Albans, really good defensive team. I guess couldn't get the bats rolling as the Timberwolves come up big. Called for a strike 3 as Anderson frozen. Really nice location there, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Punch out number 2 for Hatfield. That'll bring up the center fielder Cole Ellis. Called for a strike. Both teams with the pinstripes today, obviously different color schemes. I believe the first time I've seen it from GW this year, they've been going with kind of the off grays as that's popped over the batting cages. We used to have them back in the day, but it was kind of like wearing a tent. They were like 5 sizes too big. Still warm. Count even up to 1-1. Cole Ellis, 3 hits and 14 ABs. And he's walked 4 times. 1-1 pitch. Is low and away. Be sure to download the free HDMedia Plus app. That's where you can get all of our digital content information. 2-2. Foul back. Soft breeze here. You expect the temperature to drop a little bit over the course of the night. Deuces everywhere. Hatfield gets a swing and a miss. And that will retire the side. GW tacks on one more in the bottom half. 2-0 Patriots. Today's game brought to you by the GW Boosters. Huntington right fielder stepping to the plate, .333 on base percentage. 1-0 pitch is well out. Huntington with 1 hit so far was off the bat of Xavier Goodwin. Second at bat of the game. And similar spot, 3-0. Three in a row, Gordon looking to dial it in. And he will, as it's onto the inside corner. McDowell thought it was ball 4. Three balls, 1 strike. And gets the chase up top as Gordon battles his way back into the AB. 9-1-2 in the order here. It's McDowell, Jackson, Hatfield, Xavier Goodwin. And the payoff is lifted skyward towards deep left field as it's towards the wall, and it's way over. Carson McDowell, solo homer. Gave it a ride, cuts the deficit in half. Traditional moonshot as 0-0 McDowell goes yard. And the warm reception.
Next up, number 3, Jackson Hatfield.
So we've had our fireworks tonight, 2 homers, 1 apiece. Here's Jackson Hatfield. Called for a strike 1. Pretty good for your squad offensively when your 9-hole hitter can drive it like that. 0-1 curveball, gets a swing and a miss. Gordon got Hatfield swinging first time through. And so work to the .387 hitter. Line drive off the glove of Barnett as he leapt skyward. And Hatfield will jog to first. Unlucky there for Barnett. Might have left his feet just a hair early, kind of hung in the sky as long as he could. And 1 for 1 here, Xavier Goodwin. Bunt show, snuck it past him.
Catch it, baby, catch it.
Goodwin slashing .231, 7 hits on the campaign. As again, Barnett in. And he'll grab time. Bunt show, gets it down in front of Anderson, chucks it 2 as it gets the lead runner. Gotta love the confidence. As he turns the bunt into a fielder's choice, takes the sacrifice away.
Next up for the Highlanders, third baseman Bradley Johnson.
And that was a great read on the situation. If it's right in front of you, you go 2 with it. A lot of guys just kind of concede second bases. That's called for a strike to Bradley Johnson. There, Anderson saying, not on my watch, unleashing that big right arm. Johnson batting .417, grounded into a fielder's choice in the first. Scoreboard showing 2 down. There's just 1. And the 1-1 pitch. Back pick to first, tight play, almost got him. And you're seeing why this coaching staff had the confidence to throw Anderson back there. 1-1. Got the chase low as it's by him. The runner going to advance. Another regional score as it pertains to Huntington. Hurricane knocked off Cabell Midland 4-3 yesterday. Had good games everywhere. With all the rainouts we had, it's going to be pretty tough to make them all up, so expect baseball most nights. As that's chased for strike 3. Anderson's got to finish it up at first. Kelly touches first as third base is conceded.
Go ahead, Steele.
Next up, designated hitter.
Strikeout number 5 there for the southpaw. That'll bring up Jacob Hale. 2 away, runner on third. Hale 0 for 1 with a strikeout. As it's past him for a first strike, Hale batting 188. For 0-1. Same pitch, same result. As the sun beginning to set here. Hale up, Childers in the on-deck circle as Gordon hopes to stop it here. As that is over the strike zone. Today's game brought to you by the GW Boosters. We thank them so much for their support, both in making these streams possible and making this place one of the best facilities in the area. And Gordon, strike 3, will retire the side. Huntington gets one back. 2-1 ball game as we head to the bottom of the third. And again, we're brought to you by the George Washington Baseball Boosters. Luke Gordon up now, lefty. First pitch offering, jammed him up, fouled it away. As that'll clank off the football bleachers. Be sure to download the free HDMedia Plus app. You can get all the stories, digital stuff. As a great team of sports writers, Rick Elmore and company, will pound the pavement. I'll tell you, those writers do not get enough credit. What they do is not easy. They actually have to pay attention and have real deadlines. 1-1 is hit hard. It bounced off Hatfield. They'll get the lead runner at second as Dixon comes in, and G-Dub goes up 5-1. From a Huntington standpoint, kind of a lucky ricochet there as it hit Hatfield. Bounced right to Matt Hood. And they'll say that somebody else was out. Was interference the call. They'll say that he veered off second base in a manner that affected the throw to first. So the Highlanders with 2 down all of a sudden. First pitch, strike there to Joel Nelson. Credit Gordon there with his 4th RBI of the campaign. 0-1 offering, down and away. Joel Nelson drove in a run back in the second. And from the lettering, 1-1 pitch. Here's a ball. Nelson, 10 hits and 23 at-bats, 6 runs batted in. Reminder, we're back here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, first pitch against the second-ranked Hurricane Redskins. 2-1. Line drive shot right field. Tally up another one for the Patriots. Joel Nelson with his second ribby of the ball game. Just throwing hands there, not in a fighting sense, but taking the outside pitch that way.
Next up, catcher Ryan Anderson.
And the catcher here, Ryan Anderson, went down watching last time. 2 down, Nelson takes his lead. As it's offered, hit well. Ryan Anderson into the stratosphere, deep left field, and another homer, second of the night for the Patriots. How about that? Anderson put into the lineup card tonight, and he goes yah-yah with a shot onto the bank. Coach Davis loving it. That's what it's all about.
Next up, center fielder Cole Ellis.
Saw the arm strength earlier, now the power off the bat. Here's Cole Ellis. 2 down, base path is empty. Chopped ground ball, Hatfield will field it, steps and throws in time. And we'll head to the top of the 4th. 6th spot for the Patriots, 8-1 they lead it. Today's game brought to you by the GW Boosters. the Highlanders to lead off as the first pitch is low. If you're just joining us, GW with a 6 spot in the bottom of the third to take a commanding lead. Ryan Anderson blasted a 2-run shot earlier. Eli Smith with a solo homer. Overall 6 hits to Huntington's 2. And pretty clean game, just 1 error on that fly ball out to right earlier. Childers walked back in the second. As Luke Gordon will stride and unload. It's up top. Six Ks so far for the lefty. 3-0. And 4 in a row. GW staff's got a good balance of righties, lefties. Slade Barton, and then left-hand wise Ty Nettles, and this man right here. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'd imagine we'll probably see Nettles tomorrow night. It's not any background knowledge or anything, just kind of deductive reasoning, I guess, as that's up and away. Cash wide up, batting .226. Laid down a sacrifice bunt last time through. As that's called for a strike, Anderson going to back pick towards first. Chasing 7 here. I don't think that we'll probably see any more sacrifices from a Huntington perspective. One pitch. Got him with the curveball. Sharp late break. White with 7 hits. We'll roll through the major league scores. The Guardians up 3-1 over the White Sox in the top of the 7th. Red Sox tied with the Blue Jays 1-1 top 6. As that's low, Anderson again tight play over there, letting the arm out for a walk. Earlier the Pittsburgh Pirates 2-1, they win it over the St. Louis Cardinals and walked that one off. Joey Bart in the late innings, 13 of them, which is kind of hard to do. You don't see it a lot with the new extra inning ghost base runner, which baseball purists hate. I don't mind it. I don't think anybody really wants to be at a game until 2 o'clock in the morning. Kind of a slow pitch softball rule enacted in Major League Baseball. Payoff Gordon got him with the fastball.
Next up for the Highlanders,
7 Ks. As that'll bring up Cooper Mayo, 1 down, 1 on. Mayo went down swinging back in the second. And the pitch. Down the middle, called for a strike. Well, the game just has got to evolve. Doesn't matter what sport it is. The pitch clock has really been a hit, even though people didn't like that either. And the 0-1. And swung out and missed. At the high school level, really not a problem with the 7-inning games. Plus, I feel like most of the youngsters kind of want to go fast. 0-2. Called for strike 3, 3 pitches. So get Mayo watching. And Gordon in the groove. That'll bring up second baseman Matt Hood. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Got the heater by him. Hood 4 RBIs, 3 hits on the campaign. From the belt, 0-1. Over the heart of it. Due up for G-Dub in the next. Got Cole Ellis, Hunter Stewart, John Fowler. One on, 2 down. Gordon lifts the leg. The pitch. Curveball chops. Fowler charges. Throws to first on the move. And it's there in time. GW puts up a 0 in the top of the fourth. 8-1, they lead it. This game brought to you by the GW Boosters. So make sure to turn that on when you get home tonight. Two and one. As this is popped skyward over top of the pavilion. Nobody on, nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dixon. That's nicely work from the windup, and it's down on the turf. The Cincinnati Reds earlier fell to the Giants 8-6 in 10 innings. Nicely with the payoff. Curveball yanked into the Huntington dugout. Unfortunate there for Red Leg Nation. You were hoping you could follow things up after Nick Lodolo was lights out yesterday. 6 innings of shutout ball. But it's just been a really inconsistent start there for Terry Francona and company. As Dixon, sharp ground ball, second base, will ricochet into right field off the glove of Cash White. Huntington just kind of having one of those nights at the moment. That was error number 2. To bring up Eli Smith, he's homered and walked. Nicely from the stretch, up by the helmet. One no. As this is rolled over towards Mike Davis, he olays the play, really never gave it a real chance. Was kind of hopping over there like he was going to. Kind of bodied up. One curveball fouled away. I alluded to it earlier. The WVSSAC going to straight up enrollment to decide classifications. That is going to be official after the Board of Education approves it, and then there's a 60-day window from the Secretary of State's office. So, very methodical process, not official yet, but it's supposed to be. And Smith down, swinging nicely, goes up top with the smoke.
Next up, first baseman Chuck Kelly.
As Chuck Kelly up to bat here. And even, it's kind of complicated, the specific enrollment numbers. I guess it's the second month of school once you kind of have a little bit of time to see who's really there. As Chuck Kelly will foul it backward. And I think it's the most simple, straightforward way to do things, but every action has an equal and opposite reaction. For instance, in football, it could affect some conference play. Because as we all know, football's king, playoff points are everything. That one pitch will run high and tight. For Huntington and G-Dub, really won't affect things too much. That would really be the only ramification I could think of, would be somebody like a Spring Valley. Now maybe you wouldn't be able to schedule them on the gridiron. And the obvious changes to the state baseball tournament, too, as everybody goes quad A. Definitely the most turbulent time for high school sports that I remember, just as far as change, as that is up and in. Highlanders with some action up in the bullpen. As nicely here, 2-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. White will step on second, throws to first. It's not in time as they get the lead runner. Two down, up now, Luke Gordon.
Next up, the Patriots pitcher, Luke Gordon.
That's Caleb Lucas getting loose over there down the left field line. Pitch to Gordon, up and out. They've really renovated that visitors' bullpen. It used to just be a patch of dirt. And the 1-0 delivery is down by the ankle. It took a little portable turf mound out there. That'll do the job. Gordon tripled back in the second, drove in a run on a fielder's choice the next time through. Two-0 pitch. As this is hit out of play over towards the Lax game. GW softball with a loss to Point Pleasant on Wednesday. Good team there for the Lady Black Knights, led by Louis Wickline. Get to talk to him a lot on the local radio. Just a community guy, coached the Little Leagues for decades. Runner takes off, 2-1 pitch. It's by the catcher as Chuck Kelly into scoring position. Gordon came in batting .250. 2 doubles, a triple, a homer on the year, and 4 ribbies. That's upstairs. Third Huntington walk there. That'll bring up Nelson. And a pitching change upcoming here for Huntington. 10-1 Patriots. You're watching high school baseball on HDMedia Game Day. We're brought to you by the GW Boosters. And we're back here as Lucas, the southpaw, comes in.
Up the Patriots, second baseman Joel Nelson.
So second baseman here, Joel Nelson, has RBI'd in both ABs. A ground out in the second, a single in the third. First pitch swing will hit it out of play. As Huntington at this juncture probably just trying to preserve arms. The Patriots with 7 hits, 2 homers, 2 triples. They've been using all parts of the ballpark. Nelson having a good week so far, was 2 for 3 yesterday, as that's up by the chin. 11 hits on the year. As Ryan Anderson in the on-deck circle. The 1-1 is hit out of play. Two down, first and second. Lucas up in the count, 1-2. And the offering is hit, tailing towards right field. Could be trouble. Diving attempt. And it is down, as that'll score Chuck Kelly. And in comes another. GW goes up 12-1. Strong effort out there in right field by Carson McDowell. Gave it everything he had, as Joel Nelson just drops one in. RBI machine tonight. Nelson with 4 of them. And that's what you love, just situational hitting, doing your job. Here's Anderson, will watch upstairs. Anderson, 4 hits on the year and limited time, 9 ABs. So making the most out of the opportunities. The old adage, if you hit, the coach will find a spot for you. As that is hit over towards the bleachers. Active week on the HDMedia GameDay app. As tomorrow you got South Charleston versus Winfield, 7 o'clock first pitch. There's 2-1 swung on and missed. A G-Dub Hurricane game, as we've mentioned. And then tomorrow night, Huntington takes on the Generals. CJ Krasick will make his season debut on the call, my guy. And that's waved at. That'll do it in the bottom of the 4th. GW needs 3 more outs to close out the 10-run rule. We're back after this, brought to you by the GW Boosters. Gordon working to the plate, gets a first pitch swing and miss to Carson McDowell. As Gordon will rock and fire curveball there, strike two. Only 2 hits allowed today by the lefty. Eight strikeouts so far for Gordon. 0-2 pitch will hop towards the plate, ball. Gordon strikeout total up to 18. And has only walked a pair. Here's the pitch, it's high. 9-1-2 here, Carson McDowell, Jackson Hatfield, and Xavier Goodwin for Huntington. 2-2 pitch, curveball, just inside. Payoff pitch, and got him swinging. 9th K. G-Dub trying to get over the 500 line there. 4-4. Back to Jackson Hatfield, 387 hitter. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Called for a strike. Got a single back in the 3rd. Thirteen hits, a couple of doubles. Nobody on, a 1-1 count. As Gordon will stride and unload, called for a strike. So Huntington will take on Riverside at home tomorrow, 7 o'clock, and then go to Winfield Friday, as that's just out. Even 2-2 count. The wind and the pitch, 3rd ball. For GW, it's the Hurricane game tomorrow. Then they face Wheeling Park. Payoff pitch is down low, ball 4.
For the Highlanders, number 4, Xavier Goodwin.
And that'll bring up Xavier Goodwin as we'll roll through some of the major league games in action. The Guardians up 3-1 on the White Sox, middle of the 8th. Red Sox, Blue Jays tied up top 8. As that pitch will sneak by the catcher and the runner advances. Bottom of the 5th, Tampa Bay Rays up 5-4 over the Los Angeles Angels. Runner on second, 1 down. Slide step and the delivery, as that is popped over towards the bushes. Earlier, the Yankees knocked off the Detroit Tigers 4-3. One sharp grounder fielded by Chuck Kelly. He'll take the bag himself. And Huntington down to its last out. The 10-run rule in the balance. G-Dub scored in every inning. 1 run in the 1st and the 2nd. Blew up with a 6 spot in the 3rd, then 4 more in the 4th. Here's Bradley Johnson. From the stretch, Gordon to the dish, and it's a ball. Johnson batting .417. With 15 hits, that's a lot of them for just 10 games through the year. One-0, it's offered. Curveball is under the zone. Two ball, no strike offering. Pitch outside. 3-0. He's down to the turf. The runner's going to come, and they pick up a run as Jackson Hatfield crosses. And so now, if you're Huntington, just got to score one more to stay alive. As pitching coach here, Mike Armstrong, going to come talk some stuff over. Take the Pearl for a second. I don't know if they're making a change or if he's just kind of settling things down. I doubt that he wants to have to make a pitching change this late last night and to bring in Ty Nettles just to face one batter. As it stays with Gordon. And Armstrong will retreat. I played for him during his first year at the helm. Really good stand-up guy. Knows his stuff. Good with all the players, not just the pitchers. There's a DH, Jacob Hale. Gordon's got the better of him twice, a couple of strikeouts swinging. First pitch fastball, called for a strike. Hale batted 188. Sun all the way down. It's a little chilly, not as bad as last night without the wind, as that's poked through the 5.5 hole, and a single there for Hale. Hit number 7 of the year, just a well-struck grounder. Split Falla and Barnett.
Up for Huntington, number 12, Evan Childers.
So the Highlander hope stays alive for the moment. And now it's Evan Childers, 0 for 0, has walked twice. As Gordon will go. And that is roped over towards the street. Childers slashing 250. And is homered once. Earlier was Carson McDowell going yard out of the 9 hole with a nuke out to left field. As per usual, got some fans watching the game from their trucks. It's not that cold. There's a couple games this year I'd give you that pass, not tonight. 0-1, it's elevated. Earlier this week, went to Gomart Park. That was a cool experience. Got to broadcast where the bigwigs set up as the 1-1's by him, and Huntington down to the last strike. Long back pick to second. Great accommodations there. Also got a shout out GW and the boosters. Takes a village to make these broadcasts possible. As Gordon will stride and go. Called strike 3. They got him watching. And that'll do it. 12-2, the Patriots take it. Behind a 3-hit complete game from Luke Gordon. A 2-run homer tonight off the bat of Ryan Anderson. Hunter Stewart with a couple of hits, and Joel Nelson with 4 RBIs. John Falla was 2 for 3 with a triple, and Luke Gordon also with a triple drove in a run. As we thank cameraman Steve-O as well, as Dan Shreve back in the truck, and Natalie as well for Man in the camera, this has been Michael Sussman. 12-2, the Patriots take it. We'll go away for 24 hours, back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock versus the second-ranked Hurricane Redskins. You won't want to miss that one. Have a wonderful evening.